Hello everybody, welcome back to a new episode of Transport Fever. And to do a quick summary where we left, I've started up a couple of trading routes in the Frisian town of Agum to produce food from the farms, or better said, to produce for the resources coming from the farms being sold here. And I've also set up a tram line between Agum and Francia to actually have the people from that village travel to Agum and buy up some, or actually better, all of the food they want. And when looking at the map, yes, I had another village all the way down here in the south. But for now, the only advantage of this one is that I've got a full chain of crude oil to a refinery, to a fuel refinery, except I don't need that yet. I got a nice food business here. That's up, that's all. Cities are actually a little bit too far away for road transport, so there's not much to do here. I can't do anything with this because I don't have the industries nearby to take advantage of the fact I need planks, plastic, and last but not least, I don't need goods in this city. So for now, at least for a while, I will stick here. And one of the things I've been considering to do is actually set up a second transport line from this village back to the north, so I've got more people who want to buy foods, and I'm currently supplying 40%. And let's see how much I actually have. Not that much, so my food processing plant isn't producing as much as I wanted to, while I do have enough here for both transports. So I think the best thing to do is actually increasing those two cargo lines. Let's see what they're doing. This is the railroad route which will be coming into use later. I see. Part of my production isn't actually working. That one's heading back. So I may actually consider to buy a few of those. With that I would boost my food production here. Or another option is move this entire line from the farm to the plant to the drop-off point, cut it off and turn it into a line from the processing plant to the drop-off point instead. By doing so, I certainly would speed up the process of food transport towards town. However, I'm always stuck with, well, I'm already stuck with the line being filled up half. My transports are filled up half, and I think I'm only going to make it worse. So the best solution, in my opinion, is, like I said, take that line, and I need to pause my game now. And actually clone the vehicles. Because what we're going to see now is something really annoying. They're all going to be messed up, so I have to start them, pause, name them, unless they changed that. It looks like they actually changed that. They certainly did change that. Previously, before an update they did not this long ago, when you had a bunch of vehicles, they simply got out of the depot in, well, not in the specific order you wanted them to. So what I'm going to do is we're going to fuel them for a while, because one of the things we're going to encounter soon is actually the whole bunch waiting in line in front of the truck station to pick up the grain. So that will take some time. But as I was saying, the vehicles didn't leave the depot in the order they were actually signing up. So vehicle 5 was coming first, and then you had 7, and then 1, and number 2 or 6, and that's got changed. And personally, I think it's a good change, because right now it means that when you have vehicles leaving, you could actually let them leave all at once in the right order, which I've been doing now. And over time, when they are doing the transportation and doing the waiting, they will spread out anyway. So yes, that's an advantage. Another thing I may have to do at some point is adding a similar amount of horse carriage to the other route, which is actually transporting the food to town, as that would increase the revenue on that one as well, but also making sure that nothing at the food factory actually gets stuck. So it's things I have to keep in mind for a while. And we got finances for it, so it's not really a problem. There's also something behind us by the looks of it. 22, and this is feeder 1. Oh, I'm so lucky. Everything comes out nicely. So as said, when I was setting up the game, I have the plan to be free of debt in 1830 when my trains come available. That's 21 years. But there's something with this, which is the lifetime. Sooner or later I will run into the problem that my vehicles are going past their intended lifetime. At that point, emissions and things like that come into play. They will become higher, having a negative effect on the population and everything else. Maintenance will be a problem. So there needs something to be done, and what needs to be done is that at that point I will increase maintenance to very high. Oh, sorry for that, I'm a bit sniffy because my cat is really losing a lot of hair right now. Summertime is approaching and she's shedding her winter fur, so. But I was saying, my condition of the vehicles will turn into bad, and because of that they will become more expensive in use. If I increase the maintenance until everything shows up again as very good in the vehicle manager, and as you can see, several of them are already listed as medium green. The moment I make sure that everything turns into very good, I can run my entire operation at the lowest cost, which means a high profit, which means I'm able to repay my loan, of which I still have 4.5 million to do, and with that everything becomes a lot more easy. But for now, I think I actually should move this one that direction. For now, we're just waiting for my convoy to pick up the grain. And I've added 11 trucks, which means I'm able to transport 44 extra grain to the food plant now. And with that done, I'll be able at some point to transport 44 extra food to town, increasing the happiness of the population and getting more demands of food. But more important, I could also start to set up a new tram line to make sure that I got visitors from the next city coming over and start buying food, which means an increased demand, and yeah, perhaps I should increase my transports even more, or better said, the amount of it. Here we go. I will select the farm. As you can see, the feeder route currently has 68 less actually food grain available, while the exclamation mark means there's a problem. And that problem is station is overloaded, which is one of the reasons why I was adding more transports to the route, because the farm in itself is producing the 200, but I'm only transporting 42% of it, and I want this to be at least 50%. 75 to 100 would even better. So yeah. Even now, with a bigger convoy, I'm still picking up, still having the exclamation. I want this exclamation mark to be gone. So behold the transport fever traffic jam. One thing I could do is adding a cargo platform, and I will switch a little bit and even. The moment I add it, it's already filled up. That won't work. That won't work, and I can't do it here. But it looks like things are slightly improving now, although we still have the high numbers. But we see smaller containers, smaller openings coming up. So, yes, that's feeder 1. This is feeder, this is us. And those are the grain foods. It will take some time before everything is actually under control again. Timing is set at minimum amount, 10 seconds. So it's just a matter of waiting. We have an industry closing down, already gone. This is going to happen every once in a while. As long as you don't use it, it will close down. At some point it will reappear again. But yeah. transport is already going up. It's 49% now, so there's an improvement. And look at this. I was actually having a loss after I bought those transports, and look at that now. Money is coming in pretty nicely at the moment. We got multiple factories closing down. Well, I was expecting that, so it's not really a biggie. Now we got the bigger distance again. I think it's time to add the other one. Because I'm still running short on food, only 46, 45. So I still need to improve my production up here. So what I'm going to do, remove that one and keep this one available. And those are 17. So I will add 17 more if the game actually works with me. I will add 17 more transports after I actually pause the game, because I have to number those. And here we go again with the boring process of renaming everything. And that's not correct. Right. it is complete. So let's pick the last one again and just wait for the whole big bunch leaving the depot. Food 7, 19, 23, 24, 25. Ha! Of course, and now they're actually messing up. Doesn't matter much, because I will pick the last one, but (31, 34). This is actually what I meant, that things are being messed up. So that's the last one. Look at this. And we still see the high numbers here. But transport went to 60%, so it is improving. And that's what I wanted. Money is down again. A lot. Makes sense. And the speed is currently 41 by 34 seconds. So that's really a very high number of seconds. Time, very short time between one stop and the other at either spot. Truck stops. So every 34 seconds at one of the stops we have a truck stopping there. We saw the message about factories leaving. Well, here's one shown by this nice red bar, and I saw something about a fuel refinery. Not up there. Up here, oil well. And right now we got more food waiting here because of the increased production of the plant. Also shown here 55. Shipment 53, and this is basically what I wanted, because as a result my supply will go up as well. But as you can see, demand has been increasing too. So yeah, everything I do will increase the population. So eventually, I'm not always certain if it's going to be a big help. It's going to be a help. Let's just keep it like that. and what we got is over time, well, basically around a century from now, we get bigger transports. Right now we're only able to transport 4 items, and at some point I'm going over to 5. Things are slowly going up, and the more you're able to transport and you're going to transport faster, yeah, profit will increase. There is not something like inflation and deflation in this game. So the cost to run 34, the profit I have from one piece of food in 1810 is the same as the profit I have from one piece of food. And now it's not the profit, the selling price is the same, except it's going to be done faster, so the turnaround time and the profit will be better. Currently doing 18 kilometers an hour. At some point I will switch to 20, and although it's only 1/9 of my current speed that I'm increasing, plus one piece of food extra, I will notice it. It's a bigger investment, but I will notice the profit. Not when I switch, because each and every vehicle is switched as soon as I select it and tell to upgrade it. Unlike the previous version where it was upgrading when it actually was reaching the station. But this one is immediately upgraded. Sometimes I actually lose items, so I will drop off 4 items with my 5 item transport. But the next time they will pick up 5 items, drop off 5 items, and yes, that's when money starts rolling in. But I keep saying that, just like I said when I started with the trams, money keeps rolling in. Well, it did, and I used that money to invest, and that's basically the whole game. You have profit, you earn money, you wait for an opportunity, and as soon as that opportunity is there, invest. Because every time you do an investment, it's only the first step of making more profits. So while I'm losing money at the moment, I'm down to, with 221 in my earnings. As soon as Food Road, the Grain Food Road 22, has delivered its first amount of food, I know I will be making a profit because it has been doing a full trip. And the fact that it currently has cost me only $2,600, yeah, it's something I have to live with. But that's the disadvantage of doing something like this, especially in games like this. You need to make an investment. You start losing money because early in the transportation the route is empty, so it's actually better to have a shorter route because your turnaround time is going faster. As soon as you have done a full turn, it should start making profit. Passenger transport with buses is a bit of an exception, but you can even get profits with that one. A tram, well, I've shown a tram is already able to make a profit. So right now I'm losing money because everything has to stop. At some point things are catching up, and we can actually keep an eye on the line because that's the last one, and let's see what happens. The thing is, we got 2 kinds of transports currently inside there and doing the same trip, so I able to increase the exit? No. So one solution would be splitting everything. I'm not willing to invest so much money by removing a field simply because I was hoping for a better turnaround. At least not yet. Maybe later, but not yet. I think adding a new cargo platform may be a better thing to do. Because that would show, as a matter of fact, it would show what's this? Actually remove the feeders from the other route, and that one 20 seconds, let's make it 10. Let's speed things up a little bit by splitting up everything. The may take the trucks a shorter time to actually start loading up because everything is split now. And I already noticed the effect here. Previously they were all hauling up from this point, and right now you see that the line is getting shorter, faster, although they're still waiting here. That'll change. That feeder still gets more as it has to. And another industry is closing down. Yes, well, it happens. There's nothing I can do about it for now. Over time they will reappear, and over time I will start using them more and more. And the problem is solved. traffic jam is gone. That's a plus, but we still have one up here with a feeder. Although it's not as bad as it used to be. We still have it. And with the pickup slash drop off, separate pickup and drop off points at the other station, at least that part is covered and not having a big problem. But yeah, things are improving indeed. One crane, one feeder. So one of the things I'm going to do now to make things a little bit easier. Country roads, ownership, no, time tracker, no. Because that's shortening one transport route. It isn't much, but I hope that by doing so they won't have that much problem with turning, taking this corner. And having to wait for other transports. Looks like it works. £24. So let's check here. I know those numbers, I don't have to see those numbers. Because this is what I was thinking about. Transport 80% right now. And it used to be half of it. Transport 100% and it's M68, 67 between production and shipment, so things are improving. Which also means that supply actually increased now to 50%, so that's nice as well. Now I was mentioning emissions. Those are a new feature from this game, which we didn't have in Transport Fever 1 or Train Fever, as a matter of fact. And basically it means everything: the smell from horses, the exhaust gases from motorized vehicles, which includes trains. Everything is having an emission, and as you can see, we have a bar going from low to high. The higher it gets, the worse it is, and as you can see, some spots are in fact worse as others. And what we have to do is try to keep it as low as possible around residential buildings. If you do that, as here, there's even that's current. So as it will most likely move, you see it getting smaller. 58 and up here it's 62. But you will note that it will stretch out, and at some point where my mouse pointer is, it will actually disappear right now, and it will drop off. It's 57 up to what's probably the normal standard at 45. 52. 45 is 39, so it can actually go lower. I don't know if there are spots where it reaches 0. Yes, there are. So yes, that's something I have to deal with, and the reason is very simple. It affects my city growth. So the more emission I have, the worse my city growth will be. In fact, it will become a decline of population instead of an increase. We don't want that. Therefore, it's something to deal with. But currently, with the age of horse carriage, it's not really that important. Other things we have here, traffic layers, and well, we got another goods demands because we increased our population and we had so much food in it now, so that helped. I just can't produce it yet. Construction materials, same thing. I can produce it, just transporting it there. Here's construction materials, but I don't have anywhere except here. Here's a quarry. That distance is way too long. Anyway, I was discussing traffic. As you can see, blue is very good. So right now, even here, while I've increased, well, doubled the traffic, it's still going fine. The only spot where we're having a problem is going to be this area. And yes, over time I hope to change that. So what else do we have? Stations. Well, that one is a little bit more tricky, because this is what the overloading. So far, so not really that bad. On passengers, not that bad on food. However, the grain, yes, we already knew that is in the middle, but slowly heading to port, so we don't want that. Basically, it tells me, hey, listen up, you either have to increase the size of it, or this helps. Now I can't do anything else. Either increase size of it or add cargo buildings. Well, cargo buildings may help, but there's no need for it yet. Then we got a cargo layer showing the transport, and as well as the supply in both commercial and industrial. And as you can see, transport is getting high up here. I think 49, 50. I have no idea what those numbers are, but they're going up. And as we can see, commercial supply is quite good, not very good, quite good. That has to do with this one. So, passenger, ditto. Public transport is doing fine, not everywhere, but it's fine. But we do have some spots with private transport. And I want those out of the system. I want as many people as possible taking public transport in both cities. So I need to work at that. We even have public transport from here to buy food, so yes, that's going fine. Track speed, well, that's not relevant right now. Land use is something I've been shown before, and the darker, the more bright the color gets, the higher standard building we have, so that's a good thing. Waterways, well, not yet. I'm not going to use it yet. It's something I will add later in the game, because right now there's not much. Yes, I could transport oil to here, then use a boat to get across, turn it into oil, return the same route, go to the refinery, and from the refinery in that direction. Too much work. Road transport will be better later on. And eventually the height, well, everything is close to flat because that's the mod I choose. So, what do we have? Well, one thing, I need goods and construction materials. As said, construction materials up here, it's way too far. Not gonna deal with that. Goods, well, shortly said, that's a no to. Can't produce them nearby, so there's no use for it. So what else is there to do? For one thing, like I said, setting up transport between this city and that city to get more people buying food. And with the food increasing, it's up to 60% now. It's a nice thing to do. I still need to, and that's something I can actually do right now. Also, look at this. I still have 45k in interest. So let's wait until 1813 and see where we ended up with the interest, because I already repaid 500,000. And by waiting, it will give me a little bit extra to increase my balance, making it actually better for me to start repaying that loan. I need some cash reserve. Eventually I need to invest, but I also need cash reserve. You always have to keep things in mind. And we got an iron ore mine. Oh, it's already gone. Let's see, count them. There's always this list. There it is. So one iron ore mine, and that's probably the second. So either one of those is just found. Eventually I will use the waterways. Just have to figure out for what. Because there's no use to start producing something from here all the way across the map, because that's going to cost a lot of time, even if I'm able to transport a large bulk amount. Passenger transports, however, would be possible. But the plan is to do a train route around the outside and later have some splits to towns inside the route area. It's all future. So we got a farm closing. Well, since it's number 4, I don't think it's really a problem. That one's closing down, that's a little bit more troublesome. That one's closing down, but I'm not really having a problem with that. And as you can see, we got 4 farms here, so not connecting. Those 2 are connected to that one. So, nah, not really something to worry about. Now, I was looking at, now we're currently at 45,000 interest, which is 1% of this. So let's repay, which means in the end of the year I'm down to 40. And yes, balance is going up. Finances are looking good. Tracks, that's my station, that's it. Towns are going up, and I don't have headquarters yet. But things are improving. Now let's see if I'm able to produce goods somewhere. Doesn't look like it. And I've been a fool. Unless we got another we just got another farm here, because this wasn't here when I started. If it was, I wouldn't have set up a transport route from this farm to the factory to town. No, I would have done this farm to the factory to town, because it would only have empty transports on this part of the route. And especially the food route, it would be a lot better. Feeder route would still be empty, but the feeder would basically going around, or I would order it to go around using a waypoint. So I would actually split my transportation routes, making things easier, more profitable. Let's check platforms 1, 2 and 3. I'm not using 4, so 4 will be my tram coming in from here. Should I let it go this way or that way? If I do it that way, I won't be able to pick it up. to drop my station. I think for now here would be a good spot. Like this, like that. Yeah, I think like this is better. Tram track. I have to be more. Well, at least the tram is able to drive around now. And that gives us the next route. This one basically covers the entire town, so there's not much to do yet, other as creating a new line. Starting here at Terminal 4 and heading here, and it doesn't matter which terminal it actually gets. Second stop. Passengers maximum at both. check the residential. Covering up most of the town. And I still think it would be a good idea to drop off passengers here and there. Later, with everything set up, later I may actually add 1 or 2 buses doing it a small circling route over here. There's not much to transport here yet. It may change over time. For now I keep it like this. I was expecting this to happen. So, tram depot, copy this one, buy 39, I can buy 10, so let's buy 10. I won't be able to buy 10. Okay, let's buy 5. And just like the previous one, this one will most likely run at a small loss when we start and start making a profit. Let's start here. So 27 minutes for the first route. I'm already able to buy one more. "30 minutes, now it's improving." Next one will be close to 6. little bit sooner. And I don't think 10 is enough. The other one got around 20 and this distance is actually more, so we'll see. Then, in all fairness, I have to admit that there are a lot less citizens living in this little village, so having a big amount of trams isn't. I don't think it's a good idea. I think 10 trams isn't enough. I think I need 5 more. Yeah, we'll need probably a couple more. Yeah, that's better. And we do have one passenger. One. Two. So 2 trams got 1 passenger right now. the other one we have 119 out of 120. So some difference. So 140 seconds. I could have done this at 123 seconds with 2 less, but 50 buys me a little bit more time, frequency, and the rate is a lot better. Six seconds. It'll do. And all those small here, Holly Johnson, Harvey Wright, Georgia Patel, Ollie Williams, are the ones I want out of their own vehicles and into mine. So by setting up this transportation, I will achieve that. At least I hope I will achieve that. There are people waiting, so at least it worked. The thing I forgot, which is very foolish, is to add two stops. This one and that one. That one. And that one. Because with that I will already have passengers dropping off at both stops. So let's follow the tram for a while. without my tram running, I'm already making a profit. Or better said, without it running with passengers, I'm making a profit. Not on this line yet, but my investment is already going into the right direction. And looking at investments, this is quite a nice balance for a tram line in my opinion. But with the tram stops being put at some spots outside the city and forcing the passengers in by buses, I actually managed to get a profit on my bus routes. So everything is currently making a profit, and I really hope I'm able to keep it like that, which is why I said that I want here a small passenger route at some point. It won't be much because the town is this small. I mean, 73 residents, it's nothing compared to what we have here, 367. This has 5 times as much as what we have here. Eventually I will be forced to make sure this one grows too. But for now I can probably do with very little. So yes, a small bus route both directions will do, at least up to the point I'm able to start supplying the town with goods and machinery. At that point people will drive in 2 directions. Here they are, all passengers moving to Terminal 1. Plus that the next tram Let's see, I have to add one more thing here. That's how it has to travel. Now it's actually turning. Accept. Okay, then we go to Terminal 4. Why does it want it to move to 1? Because, right, 4. Passengers will probably hate me because they're moving back and forth between 2 platforms. So that one still got 6 passengers. "25 passengers already." So it's actually still not making a profit, but yeah, going a lot better as I actually hoped it would. Let's speed things up for a moment. See what happens after it has done a full circle. Because I think this route may already be profitable as soon as the first trades have arrived. And now I also need to increase my maintenance at some point. 50% is filled up now. The town is indeed growing. We'll have to do something about the maintenance soon, at least until each and every vehicle is, and there it is, 5,000. Yep, this is going to work nicely. Now, last thing I said, I have to check each and every vehicle now. Conditions. And we see that some are getting bad. So I have to check each and every one. Maintenance very high on all of them. So that includes the trams I just bought. But especially this red one was very bad. Set it as high. It will cost me a lot of money, and that's something that I can't help. It's something I have to deal with. But the advantage, as I said, is by increasing maintenance for a while, the vehicle ends up being brand new, so to speak. And because of that, I'm able to keep them running instead of having to replace them. As you can see, feeder 13 already turned into bad instead of very bad. and some others did as well. Mediocre vehicles already became good, or even very good. Everything became bad, so yes, it's like I said, it's costing me money, but eventually it's solving many problems, and more important, it's saving me money because I don't have to replace vehicles. And replacing a vehicle is far more expensive. So I will again first of all zoom out a bit, speed things up, so we can finish this whole maintenance thingy before I decide to pause and save, because it's becoming something that happens quite a lot. But every time I plan to do an hour session, and every time I end up with being over an hour. And here we are already mediocre. Some are even turning into good already, and several are already at very good. I can actually already start removing the very good ones. With that, actually start cutting out on the cost already. And with this, I may as well repay my loan. As you can see, it's 40k now. Going to be 35 soon. And I still have 13 years to go. So, looking at all that, things are going nicely. We got 2 nice passenger transport routes. We got a nice food transport route. I don't have any real estate, otherwise that would even be better. I can't set up goods routes yet, although it would be very nice to do so. but it would require one iron route, one coal route to the mine. Then I got a steel mill all the way driving this way, which means I have to adjust parts of the road network to create a short route, especially up here, up here, up there, or perhaps even like this and something, and eventually cutting through. Then the tools need to be transported here, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4 routes I have to create. Each of them are driving partly empty. If I would use the steel to the tools, to the city, to the steel again, I think, okay, I will cut out on one route, but I think I need at least half or twice, I need double or twice as many horse carriages as I would do with 4 routes, so it's not really useful. I may actually later set up a train station around this area so I can supply all those industries with one train. Pick up the steel here, drive it elsewhere, and return with tools and create a road from the train station directly to the city. It will be cheaper, and at the same time, while I transport steel from this to a tool factory, I would also transport from another spot the coal and the iron from here to a steel factory, so to create a full route working, plus oil for plastics here. There's all kind of businesses to be done. I can already pick up the oil here for fuel later, oil to the city, to a refinery, refine it, return it, turn it into fuel, and I can actually do a road transport from here immediately that direction. Steel and plastic. If I had a refinery nearby, I would have plastic. Could cut up that route, create this route, and we could create machineries which we can actually not sell anywhere. No, we can't do it here. So there's plenty of opportunities in this area, but one of the big problems is that I have to do it with small transports. 4 items on the carriage is not much. So for now, since everything's working well, and my finance chart is actually showing more blue as red over time with a few exceptions. Even hit no. With a few exceptions, I'd say things are going well enough. Yes, my balance is going down, which makes sense because I just repaid a loan at that point. But eventually my value and the balance will go up again. And tons are still going up, so it's going nicely. I've still made a profit, even with the investment of the trams. I made a profit. I did some small investments. I made a profit, so I will make a profit here too. then I will be able to repay this long before 1830. For now, as said, I will pause and save the game. Thank you for watching. It's been a very long one and that wasn't my intention, so I'm sorry for that. I'll try to do a slightly shorter one next time. I hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly did, and I really hope to see you next time. Have a nice day.